Again, how often do you get to do this from Made in the USA tools? Like a, right out of time. There you go. I mean, every single thing here is new, older stock. Hey everyone, it's the Eclectic Handyman. Here I have an assortment of vintage and Made in the USA new, older stock Craftsman tools and items, and we're going to check them out. Let's get into it. All right, before we start getting into all of it, you might be looking at this compared to my other videos and saying, well, that doesn't look like very much. But rest assured, I think it's more than meets the eye once I start to get into, especially because of these items right here. Also, if you're new to these videos, what I like to do is acquire new, older stock or vintage Craftsman Made in the USA tools that I actually want to use and add to my set of tools. This isn't just me going to the flea market or finding grab bag deals or estate sales. These are select items that I actually want. And then what I do is I show them. I show maybe where they are in the catalog and what I'm going to use them for and why they're useful. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start first with what's here in these envelopes. You probably may have already figured out what they are. But what I have acquired are an assortment of the Craftsman catalogs from back in the day. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you will have seen that, I refer to these catalogs to find the part numbers and the generation of tools and when they were. So some folks like to collect like old 50s and 60s Craftsman tools. I tend to have the ones more from like my childhood. So that's going to be like 90s and 2000s when they were made in the USA. So this is a 1998-99 Craftsman catalog, and we might end up looking for some of these items in this. But basically, I don't try to get every single catalog, but I try to get a smattering of years so that when I do get the tools, I can find them, because oftentimes you'll find like Craftsman professional wrench sets or screwdriver sets that are in one catalog but not in another, and you want to kind of know what era. So we got that one first. I actually got a few of them here. Sometimes these things are a good deal online. Again, I'm not trying to do a catalog collection of every year. 99 and 2000, so that's those two are in sequence right there. So if a new generation of tools or a specialty item comes out, you can find it in that next catalog. I honestly don't remember the years. I don't remember if this is the next year in sequence. Let's see here. Nope, this jumps back a little bit. This is actually almost 10 years before. This is 91 and 92. That's a good era as well, because sometimes things, sockets or certain older socket sizes, maybe you have to refer to these, or old tape measures. Not quite 60s or 70s, but it's always good to have for reference. So again, kind of a variety of different years, and we'll see if we can look in these to find some of the rest of what I've got here. All right, let's start with this big dog down here in the front. This is a 3/4 inch breaker bar from Craftsman Made in the USA. Now, I didn't know if I would ever actually buy this, but this thing is a monster. Now, on camera, it may not be doing it justice. I don't even have a lot of 3/4 sockets. In fact, I don't think I have any, but what I do have is an adapter for 3/4 to 1/2 inch. So this has some supreme breakaway power for maybe doing something that, in a particular area, instead of using a cheater bar or pipe or something like that, you can go to this. Now, to show you some comparison here is the 1/4 inch. You can see quite the difference in size. In fact, when I originally showed this, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to use this for, because it's basically the size of the ratchet. But then we've also got the 1/2 inch version. I've used this quite a bit, but just look at the size difference right here. I mean, you're talking about a significant extra length here, again, for breakaway power. All right, so here would be the idea. I talked about using like an adapter. So what you could do is put that on the end of this so that we could use the 1/2 inch, like say deep sockets or whatever kind of socket, doesn't matter. And then, you're gonna get some, again, you don't have to use like go find a pipe or a cheater bar, as they call it. This in itself, it's difficult to even get it in camera, is gonna serve that purpose. Now let's inspect it a little bit more closely because I want to show you excellent condition. I mean, this really is like new older stock. It doesn't have the tags on it, but just in pristine condition. I mean, you can see that really nothing has been put on that anvil right there, or if anything, very little. Craftsman, there's no marks on it, hasn't been thrown around the floor. Made in the USA, VVR manufacturer code, part number 4431. Just again, and now I did pay, I think about $50-ish, give or take on this one. Shipping was a bit more, but I think this is pretty cool. The only thing I don't like about it, but none of the manufacturer code versions had it, is if you look at my other ones here, they all have a hole on the end, which I found really convenient because I put a little nail in the wall and they can hang on the wall. So for this one, I'm probably just going to have to like put a couple here where it widens out and then it can just kind of hang like that. So, or I can put it in the toolbox, whatever, just to have them all together. So anyway, 3/4 inch breaker bar right here, extension bar. I think it's really awesome and glad to have it. So let's take a peek in the catalog. Let's just grab, like, say, you know what? Let's go with the old one. Let's go with the 91, 92 and see where we find that. I'm sure we'll find that maybe in here somewhere. All right, and I indeed did find it. Now, the way they used to do it is each page in these older catalogs would be dedicated to the specific size tool. So here's the 3/4 inch drive tools, and there it is, number 3 right there. And it's part number 4431. So back in the early 90s was $36.49. They call it the flex handled with the hinge joint, 18 inches long. And just to do a quick look in the 99 to 2000 catalog. So just kind of looking over here at this newer catalog, this is what I mean by having multiple catalogs, because these are the big ones, the 3/4 inch sockets. And I'm looking through all these sets and I actually don't see that breaker bar called out. I mean, I see it right here, but it doesn't really show it as a separate item. So, I mean, you could have gotten it in store at Sears, but anyway, there it is right there. So that's why it's nice, again, to have the different catalogs. And of course, you're getting the Craftsman Professional ratchets in this era. So pretty cool. All right, next up, I have an individual socket. This is a 12-point Craftsman Made in the USA Series VV 47526. This is a 25 30 seconds socket. Now, not very common. You're talking about, you know, older cars, tractors, stuff like that. Lots of discussions online. Always people are like, what are these 30-second sockets used for? And people are like, just use the millimeter equivalent. But now I would not even dare call this new older stock. I bought this. I got a good deal. I wouldn't even call it vintage. In fact, rarely do I do this, but there's like some engraving on it. But here's the deal. Like, I have the 12-point set, which is right here. I reviewed both this magnetic holder and putting this set together. I'll leave a link to the video up here. There was no actual 11:30 seconds listed on here, but the way I did it was, again, through the catalog. So for this one, trying to figure, you know, the complete set, we're going to go back to that 91, 92. And on the 1/2 inch drive tools, here are the individual sockets. So what we're looking for is the 12-point deep. So here's the deep depth, and there we go. 25, 30 seconds, 12-point, 47526. Back in the day, $6, still $6.29. I have all of these other sockets. That's how I knew, you know, that the deep depth, for example, starts at a 1/2 inch, then goes to 9/16. So we've got the 1/2 inch, 9/16. I even have, not to go on too many tangents here, but I have a 7/16, which did come out later. Now, it was the laser engraved. I typically do not do that. But anyway, I knew I was missing one. I didn't want to go completely new older stock. I probably will never actually use this size, but I wanted to have it. There's not even a specified slot, but what there is there's this little like AD marking for like additional. So nice and easy. Oh, it doesn't fit in there. Oh, I thought it did for some reason. Well, all right. Well, we'll just, I guess, put it over there in the 1 1/4. It doesn't matter, you know, but Anyway, I have the whole set now in the 12-point half-inch made in the USA socket, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, always looking to complete my socket sets in case I need them, and I have quite the variety here. All right, last but not least, I've got this really cool new older stock 63-piece mechanic tool set. And what I really like about it too, zoom in on here, it's a little faded, but that's an original Sears sticker. It looks like maybe like the clearance price. If anybody worked at Sears, you probably can identify that, but it says $20.97. All right, so let's start with the part number. It's 933963, although usually we drop the first 9 if you're ever searching for something like this. And everything is made in the USA. Okay, let's get a little room here and start taking a look at this. All right, first off, just picking one of these catalogs out. I'm unable to find it, and I'll explain why. Like if you go into the catalog, you'll see a bunch of different like smaller sets. For example, they have like a 236 piece, 180 piece, and they have, you know, some other smaller sets in here as well. But the deal was, and you come over here, here's like a 55 piece, a 33 piece, but none of them are exactly this one. Sears often and Craftsman had just a whole bunch of different variety sets. But the cool thing about this one is it comes in a case. And I've already done one of these before, and it's right here. I'll leave the link on the video before. This is from a previous Craftsman Made in the USA haul. But what I do with these, and I'm sure you all do as well, is I keep them in the back of the car. So if I open this up, and I've added a couple of tools in here, but basically I added this to it, but you have a 1/4-inch socket with a bunch of a socket wrench with a bunch of sockets. You got a screwdriver. I added the pliers in here. You've got a couple of wrenches. I've got a 12, and I usually throw a 10 in the bag. And the idea is you throw this in the back of the car, and you know you're going to be able to get away with basic maintenance. You know, if you got a hose, like a coolant hose, come off, you know, you could run over to the parts store in whatever town you're in and manage something like that. Or if you had to take a fan shroud off to get to a belt, or you had to do like minor topical stuff, you know, you're not going to change an engine, but you're going to get a pretty good distance if you had to do something very basic with it. So I like to throw these in the back of the car. Now, sure, can you go over to Harbor Freight and get a Pittsburgh set for a lot cheaper? Of course you can, but here's the deal. If you're patient with this and you seek these out, you can usually get a good deal either on Facebook Marketplace or eBay on these sets. For whatever reason, people buy them, and like this one, they never touched it. So this was the same way. This was all brand new, and I didn't pay an arm and a leg. I think for this one right here, I paid about $40. So yeah, a little bit more than maybe a Pittsburgh set that you might toss around. But guess what? It's made in the USA, 63 piece. It's awesome. So let's go ahead and open this up. Pretty neat, just like back in the day, right? Like, you know. Now this one's a little bit different. Oh, we got a little bit of original tape, it looks like here. All right, so a little bit of a bonus in this video, getting to open that up. Take it out of the box. Now, one of the things about this is a little bit different. I don't actually like this style of case as much as I like this. This is canvas. It's very tough and industrious. You can throw it around. It's not going to be a big deal. This is like that vinyl stuff. You can see it's got some of the, you know, from the box from sitting in there for many years. I don't care about the look of it, but you can even see right here, like this is brand new and it's already peeling back. So not my favorite case. It wouldn't surprise me, unfortunately, if this case ultimately bit the dust. And the thing is that the case is made specifically for the tools, but again, not a heavy investment. So you can see here, first of all, we've got all the bags, definitely new older stock. I mean, what a treat to be able to get Craftsman Made in the USA tools. Look at that, forged in the USA. Oh, this one even has a 10 millimeter. Woohoo! Definitely need that for any car in the past 20 or 30 years. We've got the different sockets. We've got the multi-bit screwdriver. Of course, that's made in the USA as well. I have a few of these. These are pretty nice. This one has a 3/8" socket wrench, whereas the other one had a 1/4", I believe, with an adapter and some additional tools. It even looks like some deep sockets. So this one it's got quite a bit more. Let's take a look at the parts list here. That's kind of nice. Let's see, what do we got here? What's this advertisement on the back here? Oh, don't know, gentle. Okay. Oh, innovative products. Excuse me. What am I trying to look over the camera here? Oh, the cushion grip nut drivers. Those always go for a premium. I don't have a set of those online. I got a test light and quick. Oh, I do like these. I have the quick extension. Anyway, kind of neat, some of that stuff. But here's the parts list with it. So it's got 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch. We got combination wrench, some spark plug sockets. This one is much more extensive. So, you know, we've got in my Shelby, I have this set right here, but in our Dodge minivan, gets so many miles from the family. Ultimately, I'll put this one in. It has over 100,000 miles, and when we go on trips and such, it's starting to get in that, you know, area where, you know, I feel more comfortable if I have a few tools in the car. I also always add an impact driver or something like that now that battery powered tools are so easy and portable, in addition to the hand tools. So pretty cool though. You know, I'll have to take the time a little bit later. I'll go ahead and open up one of these bags just so we can take a look here. Again, how often do you get to do this from Made in the USA Tools? Like a, you know, right out of time. There you go. I mean, every single thing here is new, older stock. That's why I said more than meets the eye, because this kit alone has so many tools in it itself. Here's the spark plug piece. Let me see what series these were coming from. G1. Let's see in here. So we got a G1 on the sockets. A lot of the sockets set I got were G2. So not that they were always identifying, you know, what time period, but probably to give an idea, this was probably from, and there's a G. This is probably mid to late 90s, I'm guessing, based on the box and that faded sticker. But actually, I don't know if there's any date on it. I don't see. No, I don't see anything there. It just says Made in the USA. Let's go ahead and speed this up. Put these tools into this case here, and then we'll throw it in the back of the car. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to take this brand new 10 millimeter and swap it out with my old one in my toolbox. Actually, I changed my mind. I realized the one I pulled out of the toolbox is a late Series EE. And believe it or not, a little bit of a unexpected here, but it's actually like a little taller and it's actually a little bit thicker. So for my main everyday use, I think I will keep my old one in there as opposed to this one, which is a Series G1. Interesting. Cool. Now for this 10 millimeter 1/4 inch 6-point, I am going to do what I said a minute ago. I'm going to go ahead and swap out the brand new one for my toolbox and the slightly used older one for this, since this is just going to sit in the car. All right, so this was a rare opportunity. I didn't even consider this, to replace several sockets with these new ones. For example, look at the 18. You know, you can see my older one and this brand new one. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but if they're just going to sit in the car, why not use the brand new one? With the exception of that one 10 millimeter I got, that was like a little bit better, the one I had. I just basically replaced, you know, some of these with the brand new versions, like that 13. Look at that, it's immaculate. So anyway, kind of a rare opportunity to go through and refurb some of my old sockets. All right, finished up. Boy, that did take about 20 minutes, but no big deal. Really nice case. You know, everything is super organized and in place. I mean, I don't want to test it too much and turn it upside down, but you can see it's keeping a hold of everything. And again, zip this up and put it in the back of the car or on the storage of the car. Should be pretty good. And this one, again, I do like better because it has all the correct sizes. Like I had mentioned in this one, it's missing some of the 10 millimeter and such, so I always add a couple of supplementary tools. Oh, would you look at that? Nothing a little leather conditioner and cleaner won't do. Got that case looking really sharp and brand new. All right, let's wrap it up. So there we have it. I told you it would be a little more than meets the eye. Because of this 63-piece mechanics tool set, we got a whole bunch of new sockets and a socket wrench and different combination wrenches. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you fast forwarded through it, that idea I had no thought of before I started, but I did start going through the toolbox, and everything that was looking a little crusty and old, like these spark plug ones and even the extensions, I was swapping out. What a unique opportunity. I mean, these were brand new that came in the kit, so I swapped them out in the toolbox. That was pretty cool. This will go in the car. As I mentioned, we got this 3/4 inch massive breaker bar, extension bar with the swivel anvil on it, which is really nice for some breakaway power. You know, with today's, again, traditional impact tools that are battery powered, I don't know how much we need the old hand and arm power anymore, but that was a good deal and a piece of, USA Craftsman history right there. So I have the complete set, picked up a 1/2 inch socket, 12-point to complete the set. And then, of course, these catalogs, which are fun to look through anyway. I never mentioned that earlier. Yes, I use them for reference, but they're also kind of fun to be like, oh, I remember that, or that was when that set came out. So anyway, hope you have fun in your journey if you're acquiring some Craftsman Made in the USA tools yourself. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below if you have any of these tools or other tools like this. I will also leave a link at the end of this video for the playlist that has all these types of Craftsman Vintage and Craftsman USA tools. Anyway, I hope you like this, and until next time, this is the Eclectic Handyman. We'll see you later.